All right, guys. So this is video number 6, stories and values and how they run our life. So this is a huge topic. I'm going to do my best to just kind of brush through it. It'll be a kind of like a broad overview and introduction to some of these concepts you may or may not have experienced or learnt before. It's pretty common knowledge, a lot of it, but I'll give you a bit of an insight onto how we use them and just cool things that I really like about them. If you did ever want to go deeper into this stuff, you can message me privately on the Monkey Motion page privately, and we can organize a chat, because there's a lot of power into understanding, kind of unraveling a lot of this stuff, just about you as a person and your life in general. So let's get straight into it. Share screen. Boom. All right, guys. So value stories, how they run our life. What we're going to do basically is go through a few different slides, and they're going to be these kind of topics here. So we've got kind of like our parents. We've got playing the victim or victor in your life. What stories and lessons did you learn at a young age, and like how they kind of influence who you are and your life. And then we've got the what values do you live your life by, and what do you kind of truly value as a person. So back to that, start with the end in mind, and how I've mentioned in some of our previous videos, cognitive dissonance, and that's what we're going to kind of go through a little bit today. So first one, parents. This one I left out a little bit. Basically, a good way to think about what parent influenced you the most is what parent you craved the love from the most. Now, this is not the parent that you loved the most growing up. It's the parent that you really wanted their love from, and you did things in order to get that love or get that appreciation or get that acknowledgement from that parent. So we can go pretty deep into this. We're not going to today, but just kind of think about your relationship with your parents, and in particular, what parent you crave the love from the most, and how your relationship with that person has created the person you are. It can either cause you to be exactly like or completely opposite to them, or it can kind of create these underlying emotions that kind of dictate / control your life, and just, have a big effect on who you are as a person. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is one of my favorite ones. Are you playing the victim or victor? So pretty much everyone has horrible things happen in their life. Like as we're growing up, we're navigating the world or life itself, and things can be harsh. We can get bullied. We can have terrible abuse happen to us. We can be everyone's aware of these things, but to the degree that you play the victim or the victor will create how you respond to that in life. Like, do you overcome what has happened to you, and do you use that to excel and use that as your greatest power to actually make a difference in the world? Or do you constantly play the victim, where you're just constantly using this story in your mind from your past to make excuses and give up on things, and things are hard for you because you experience this, and that's basically playing the poor me card. That might seem a little bit harsh, but look, when we study some of the greatest and most influential people in the world, they've had hectic things happen to them, really horrible things, and it's all relative. When we're young, we're very vulnerable, and whatever's happening to us can leave a huge imprint and huge impact on us in our lives. And the more we play the victor in that scenario, or from that scenario, the more success and vibrancy we'll have in life. The more we play the victim, the more sour our life's going to be. So think about the victor being kind of like the visionary, the creative person, the thinker. They have great abilities. Their responsibility, their response to and having that ability to respond to things is incredible. They're trustworthy. They take ownership, accountability, and again, that responsibility. Now, when we look at the victim and kind of playing the poor me card, this has happened to me, so therefore I can't be great, or I can't live the life that I want to live. they're generally going to be more judgy. They're going to be jealous. They're going to be a complainer. They're going to be quieter, unreliable, or maybe not so much quieter. They might be loud. It might come out in a very loud way. They may blame others. They may create excuses, and they're generally living in a life of denial. So understanding this and your stories that you tell yourself about your life, what you've kind of experienced, are you playing the victor or the victim? Straight up, the more of that you can take those harsh things in life and be the victor from those, the better you're going to be. You'll have like this underlying power to create your own greatness. Okay, stories and lessons. So again, playing the victor or the victim comes from a story you're telling yourself about your life. So this is kind of that's your first example, but kind of the stories or the thoughts that you have in your life that play out over and over again are going to basically just, they're going to run or rule your life. They're like the bigger thought processes behind things. So blaming the world and others, never taking responsibility. When it's too hard, give up. Socializing positive or negative experiences. Bullying at school by peers. Receiving love and how you received it, unconditional or conditional. Language, optimism and pessimism. Gratitude habits, eating, self-confidence, and it all goes on. So these are all like different stories or different parts of our life that we'll be telling ourselves about certain things just in our mind, and they'll run how we view the world, how we view these certain topics. So I guess where I'm getting at with this is just becoming aware of them all, really taking the time to dig deep, think about them. Are the stories you're telling yourself, are they positive? Are they serving you and they are making you a better person and allowing you to live a greater life? Or are they doing the opposite? Okay, so this is about that cognitive dissonance I was talking about, and your values. So let me read on a little bit for this. So the term cognitive dissonance is used to describe the mental discomfort that results from holding two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. This inconsistency between what people believe and how they behave motivates people to engage in actions that will help minimize feelings of discomfort. What are the signs you might be experiencing from cognitive dissonance? General discomfort that has no obvious or clear source, confusion, feeling conflicted over a dispute, subject matter, people saying you're being a hypocrite, being aware of conflicting views and or desired, but not know what to do with them. So generally it's confusion. It can also lead to stress, anxiety, and eventually depression. And it really does not help you find who you are. So if we've got values that we've been grown up with, like say, for instance, you really value fresh food and growing food from locally sourced sources, or, like eating from farmers markets. But then you've got a group of friends that loves eating takeout and doesn't really care about the environment or food. You'll be living, and you want to be friends with them. You'll be living in an environment that just doesn't align with your values. And in order to keep up with that peer group, that group of people, you're going to be doing things that don't really align with you and who you are. So you're going to have this cognitive dissonance, this kind of friction within yourself. And it's going to lead to just nasty stuff in your mind and just kind of this unease of who you are and what you're doing. And it might even end up building resentment toward those people or toward yourself. And from that, those thoughts, we're creating emotion. So our behavior is going to be bad. And then our thoughts arise from all of that. And it's that dark, deep cycle that's not good. So living true to your values, that's why we did the start with the end in mind, is a super, super important thing to do. And just like figuring out who you are, what you value, who you want to be, and living true to that is absolutely crucial. All of this builds what's called authenticity, being authentically you, being authentic in nature and how you present. And you just come across as a genuine good person. You don't come across as someone that doesn't know who they are. They're a little bit fake. They're doing things in order to get likes from other people or be liked by other people, but they're actually not really that person. So again, understanding your values and are you living true to your values is a crucial thing to understand. Here's some good examples as well of what I've kind of talked about, but you guys can have a little bit of a look at that and just see for yourself some examples I found on the internet. So these are just some things to think about, guys, that our stories, our values, how they run our life, and how they create the person you are. These things kind of create your reality, essentially. So the big takeaways from this, I think, are you playing the victim or the victor? And then just being aware of that cognitive dissonance. If you want to take it further, really trying to unravel some of the stories you tell yourself about your life that you learned from a young age for whatever reason, and then that relationship that you have with your parents or had with your parents, and how that kind of rules and runs your life today. Peace, big love. We're almost at the end, guys. We're getting there. All I can say is, if you stuff up at this stage, it's okay. Just get back on that horse and just keep going, guys. Keep pushing forward. Remember, this challenge only works if you work to what we offer you guys. So stick to it. Stay consistent. We're almost there. Big love. Keep being awesome.